I work at an office that sells bulk goods to businesses that use them, like retail outlets etc. Our office doesn't usually have a strict dress code, but we recently got a new boss, a sat, who is quite literally the stick up my ass. He's constantly yelling at everyone about basic shit, like punching in a minute or two late, early, or being a word or two off the script during outbound, inbound calls. Dealing with him in general has made me hate the job more. As it's getting hotter, I've been wearing khaki shorts to work for the past few days, which is something I've always done for the past few years and nobody has confronted me about it before, so I figured nothing would change this year. But boy was I wrong. About halfway through my shift, this boss comes to my desk and realizes I'm wearing shorts, and is visibly annoyed. He mutters something under his breath and goes back to his office. An hour later I was called into his office, where he proceeded to berate me about breaking dress code. He was fuming, and ended the meeting with, "From now on you follow a dress code to the book, or you're fired. Say no more, boss." That night I went home and read up on the dress code rules. There was in fact a rule against shorts, so I was annoyed, but kept on. And then I found it, there is no rule preventing males to wear skirts, kilts. Here's where I devised my plan. I immediately ordered a pink and white striped kilt online, as well as matching knee-high socks and shirt. There was no rule stated in the dress code against any of this, surprisingly. About a week later the clothes arrived, and here is what ensued the following work day. I walked in, wearing my new pink business outfit, and immediately the whole office is staring at me, and the boss who came in to cover another boss's shift of the morning was beat red in the face, and yelled at me to come in his office. He goes on a 10-minute rant about how I'm a useless employee, and that he's going to fire me for not following the dress code to a T. I simply stated I am in dress code, I urge you to read the employee handbook. He ended up reading the whole thing in front of me, and I could see him getting more and more angry as he realized I didn't break any rules. I asked him, "Am I free to go back to work?" And he looked at me with a death glare, muttered something under his breath and waved me off. Customer's shake isn't milky enough. Years ago I used to work at a popular ice cream joint. The job was pretty chill. Co-workers were fun to be around, and the pay was alright for a teenager. But, as with every other food service job, the customers made the experience a whole lot worse. Always had the regular annoyances, people yelling at you for long wait times, orders being wrong, etc. Even had a guy get up on the counter and berate me because we were out of bananas for banana splits. But, one experience really stood out from the others. We had a regular customer who would come in no shit, every day, to get a strawberry shake. He was fine with long waits, or if our card machines were down. But, this dude would summon the might of Satan if his milkshake wasn't made with enough milk in it. Worse, he would sit there and wait until you remade it to his liking. Stupid store policy made us remake any order for free if the customer wasn't happy with it. One day this dude comes in, and orders, guess what, a strawberry milkshake. I was working the ice cream bar, so filled with defeat I started making his order. Company recipe was 3 scoops of ice cream for a regular smoothie. Since I knew this guy liked his milky, I only put 2. I handed it to him, and went about the next orders, until 5 minutes later he comes back and screams at me that the milkshake wasn't milky enough. Now, every time in the past, I always made his this way, 2 scoops to give it that milky consistency. This time I guess he wanted to just fuck with me. At this point I had had enough, the day had been rough as it is, so I really didn't want to handle this, especially since I could tell with the shit-eating grin he had plastered on his bastard of a son face, that he was trying to make my day worse. This is where the malicious compliance comes in. I decided to make the milkiest milkshake possible, but while still being a milkshake by technicality. I went back to my station, and started the concoction. I didn't put 2 scoops, I didn't put 1 scoop. I put 1 tablespoon of strawberry ice cream, and filled it up to the brim with milk. After the pointless blending, I handed him the milkshake he didn't want, but the one he deserved. I watched him with my own shit-eating grin beaming back at him, while he tried his milkshake. He took a sip, and immediately started berating me that it was just milk. I told him no sir, I put strawberry ice cream in there, just as you asked. I could see the rage in his eyes as he demanded his order be remade. I then politely informed him, our store policy only lets you have your order remade once for free. His face burned bright red as he muttered something under his breath, then stormed out the door, slamming it behind him. Every time after that, he never asked for me to remake his order. A few months later, I got a better job where I didn't have to deal with angry customers. Doctor, customer wanted milkier milkshake. I made him one with a tablespoon of ice cream, and watched him storm out the door. Only lets you have your order remade once for free. His face burned bright red as he muttered something under his breath, then stormed out the door, slamming it behind him. Every time after that, he never asked for me to remake his order. A few months later, I got a better job where I didn't have to deal with angry customers. Doctor, customer wanted milkier milkshake. I made him one with a tablespoon of ice cream, and watched him storm out the door. Hope you like gum. When I was a teenager straight out of high school, I got a job as a cashier. I guess I did really well on the front end of the store, and I was moved to a position where I kept things stocked on the front end and kept inventory of things we needed. It was up to me to put orders in for all those candy bars and suckers and magazines you see near most checkout lanes. I had one manager who was a PITA. She was so hateful to all of the employees, but it felt like she was especially rude to me. I was doing my job and doing exactly what I was supposed to, yet she just seemed to have it out for me. I was unloading a cart of stock and there wasn't enough Orbit spearmint gum to go around at each register. I had ordered a normal amount, but some guy came in and bought every single one of them at once, which was really not the norm, which left us out. Gum usually doesn't though. Sometimes it expired before we sold it and it would have to be tossed out. So the manager came to me with 4 empty gum cardboard displays and in front of other employees and even customers, and yells at me very loudly, "Why are these empty? There's none in any register. It's your job to ensure they are always full. Next time order plenty of it so it doesn't happen again." Me, being young and tender-hearted, held back tears. It was not only embarrassing, but made me angry. So the next time I put an order in for gum, I put in a huge order for Orbit. Like 30 cases of them. When the truck came in and the guy loaded up the pallet and the pallet was broken down into departments, here comes like 2 buggies of nothing but gum. The manager looked at me and said, "Why is there so much gum?" And I flat out told her she asked me to order plenty of it. She wrote me up, but another manager said she should have been more specific.